Hi all, how you doing? Hope you're doing great wherever you are in the world. All right, so Blockdag Keynote 3. Now, in this Keynote 3, they have five speakers. If you go to the Blockdag website and then look at the team, the people who are speaking are Anthony Turner, Jeremy Hartness, Professor Yusuf Kalaj, Stephen Clark, and Maurice Hurley. Now, I'd say of those five speakers, Morris was reasonably good. Okay, he's reasonably competent in front of the camera and stuff. Stephen Clark was ridiculous at times, and Jeremy Hartness was okay. Anthony Turner is very strange with what he was doing with his hands. Okay, he's just got very strange hands. The way he holds himself. Okay, but what I will say is it's good that they're out there. If you go back to the sort of early days, okay, with Blockdag, where they had no CEO, or this was the CEO, but he didn't want to show his face, or who knows what the hell was going on there. That was all a bit strange. Um, so they had this guy here who was an actor. Um, can't remember what his name was, but basically they didn't like him because he didn't move his feet. That was another thing about this video. None of them move their feet whatsoever. It's just really weird. And they just don't know what to do with the hands. Okay, especially Anthony. He's terrible. If you just watch how he holds his hands, it's just a bit strange. Just the way he carries himself, it's just weird to me. I think this is why a lot of music artists, they usually hold a microphone or a stand, or they have a guitar or something like that, because I think they find it difficult to do things with their hands. It's just they don't know what to do with them. But I'm getting a bit picky here, just talking about other things and not talking about the actual keynotes and stuff like that. It was really boring to watch all of this. Okay, so I have gone through it all, but it's very difficult to sort of pick out individual moments. They talk about I think beta testing. Okay, at some point, I think yeah, 12 minutes in, beta testnet is now live or something. They're saying. They show a at 6:57. I mean, that just sounds naff, doesn't it? I mean, sort of getting this guy, I suppose the idea is they're getting regular people talking about Blockdag, but that just sounds naff. Why did you get into Blockdag? Oh, well, it was just on Facebook. I mean, come on. This is like financial advice kind of thing, and you're talking to someone on Facebook recommending you coins. It's not a great endorsement for Blockdag, that. And it seems like all the people that they get on this, there's about two or three other people who sort of come on this and talk about it, and it's very wishy-washy. Um, it's not a great endorsement at all for Blockdag. I wouldn't want these kind of people, um, projecting my business. I get that you're not meant to be using kind of professionals, but what they say just doesn't help Blockdag in my opinion whatsoever. Um, yeah, let's talk about Stephen. I just found this pretty funny. So Stephen comes on at 28 minutes, and this is Morris. I think he does hold it together pretty well, and the way he does a segue to Stephen is good. All right. But what all he's just talking about is the technical, what is a block dag kind of thing. He just seems to sort of go over that. He's not very. There's no new key information really, as far as I'm aware. Uh, but he does deliver it okay, in my opinion. But this Stephen guy, if we go to this bit, is quite amusing. Just, just listen to that again. I don't know if you got that in the video, but he just like blah 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 kind of thing. All right, so I'm being a bit picky again. Yeah, you can pick me up on that if you want. But what I'd say about this video is like supposed to be highly polished. Um, they've recorded it and then edited it. Okay. My video that I'm doing here that you're watching now is not going to be edited. Yes, it's not professional or anything like that. Sat in my living room with some silly pictures behind me and that kind of thing. And it doesn't look, it's all dark and gloomy and all of that kind of thing. But this is supposed to be set in like a professional video recording room with like this high-tech background and stuff that's green screened on there and that kind of thing. And then you got this Stephen Clark guy mumbling these words, and they haven't bothered editing it out or anything. This has been edited, all right, but that's been kept in. They'll probably say, "Oh, well, we just want to keep the human side of things, keep all these errors in there and that kind of thing." Well, I'd have said, "Well, just record it in one go then." Clearly it wasn't. Clearly they tried to edit it and make it professional, but it's just weird. And this is a very funny thing that happens. There's something sort of talking sideways. I don't know why they have this other camera angle. Why have they bothered doing that? They're talking. It's like if I suddenly started doing a video and doing this, it doesn't look right at all. I'm over here. I'm here. Turn round. Oh yeah, that's the other thing they talk about a lot. All the time, decentralized, okay? They must have mentioned that word, I don't know, 300 times probably. It wouldn't surprise me if they've mentioned that word 300 times, decentralized, okay? Another thing that they mention a lot is community. Um, Here we go, community. Okay, so they're really proud of having all these people on the social platforms, yeah? Yeah, how come so many of them get chucked off, including me? Okay, I got banned, but it's not just me. Lots and lots of other people have said they got banned. They asked some questions and they got banned. Now that doesn't smack of decentralization. That smacks of centralization to me, where some entity is in charge, i.e., centralized and dictating what's happening. That is far from decentralized. That's the opposite of decentralization. All right. So they're basically controlling any questions, or if they don't like any questions, just basically deleting the people who are a bit awkward. That's just the opposite of decentralization, isn't it? That's what I think anyway. So if they don't like your question, you'll just get deleted. Um, that's not an open and transparent business at all, is it? They're not trying to answer any difficult questions. Surely that'd be the most important thing to do. If anyone's got a difficult question, you've got to try and answer it and try and come to a conclusion to help the project. If they can't answer it or they don't want to answer it, more likely, then they just delete you. It's terrible. So Keynote 3, also the other thing they don't mention when mainnet is going to launch. They just say later on this year. Well, it's end of March now. Later on this year, when's that? October? I mean, it could be any time, couldn't it, really? But it's months away. Another thing they kind of mentioned was they wanted to keep the pre-sale going. That's what they kind of mentioned. They didn't want the main net to launch because they wanted it to be perfect, and they wanted to keep the pre-sale going. In other words, they wanted the monies, okay? Ideally they wanted 600 million coming in. That's what they targeted. But that plan got scuppered because too many people complained about it and they got too much heat over it. And so they decided to change their plans because of the amount of heat they were getting. And they just decided, this is, and everyone could tell them that this mainnet wouldn't launch until about 2028, 2029 or something, the way the pre-sale was going. Because obviously they had to keep on giving all these bonuses. Okay. Otherwise, the money just dries up. If there's no bonuses, people aren't going to buy. Why would you buy at zero bonus when you could have been buying at 400% bonus the other day? So it's very difficult for them to raise 600 million, okay, if they're going to have to uh eventually stop these bonuses because people are just complaining about them because they bought in early and weren't didn't get a bonus when they signed up. Okay, so yeah, so Blockdag Keynote 3, it's good that the team are putting themselves out there, but it's very unprofessional in my opinion. I mean, done all this editing and all this green screen stuff, but it's not it's not on the par with CoffeeZilla or anything like that. Okay, and it should be. They've spent like 200, well, they haven't spent 200 million. They've raised 208 million or something. And this is what they come up with. It's a bit naff, isn't it? So let me know in the comments what you think about Blockdag Keynote 3. No doubt I'll get a few more robots and things in there having a go at me, but my skin is thick. I can take it. So have a great day and yeah, have a great day. See you on the other side.